Hi ladies, hi gents. I want to share a video with you today, and it's another project, and I have been trying a bit of something different. And for this one I was looking at some fabric dye in a shop, and I thought I really want to try the cold water, the hand wash fabric dyes, and they had a lot of colours, a lot of bright colours, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to try something different. So over here in the UK we have this brand which is called Dylon, and this is a hand wash dye, and this one is called Pewter Grey. And I thought, you know, I just wanted to try something different. So I mixed it up and dyed some laces, and I was really surprised at the different colours that came out of this depending on the fabric. I think these are £3 for these hand wash dyes, and they do lots of colours. But the shop I was in, they had about 10 colours, but I believe there's about 30 colours you can get. But I actually, if anybody's wondering, I got this in Wilkinson's, if anybody wants to go look at them. And it's quite easy to do. I just mixed it up in a bucket and then threw my laces in. And obviously I followed the instructions. You add salt to it, and then I rinsed them off. I'm just going to quickly show you a bit of the colour. I'm not going to go through all the colours that the laces and that came out, but I'm going to show you a bit, because I've put the white here so you can see the tones, and some of it came out quite like a denim blue, I'm going to say. But if I just show you the sort of contrasting colours that came out. You see, these ones are sort of blue-grey, and I absolutely love this, the colour that came out on these. If I show you some appliques, because these came out quite interesting. So the background stayed quite a light grey, and then all the details picked out in the darker grey. This one went the sort of blue, sort of, it's kind of, yeah, denim-y blue. And again, this one kept the background colour, but the stitching came out in the grey. And the laces, again, they came out such, if I move these out of the way, that way. This is quite blue. I really was surprised. It really surprised me how they came out, the colour. But I really love this colour. You know, so they're quite a blue grey. This is slightly more grey. This is slightly more blue. Even down to the tiny trim, which came out more the blue. Then if I show you some of these, this fabric here came out quite grey, but some of these, this has a lilac-y tone in the background of this one, but the grey on the stitching. So it really was quite different tones. It absolutely amazed me, the different tones on the laces. I'd done some cheesecloth, and that came out quite grey, but when I'd done, where is it? when I done the silk, it came out more lilac. So it's a real variety. I love how this one came out with the more blue. I've gathered this because I was going to use it in my project, but well, I've used some of it in my project, so that's more the blue. Anyway, so that's the variety of different tones it came out, and it really was quite fun to see all the different tones. So if I just take this away and put a white background down, so that I can put my project on it. Okay, so it's another lace book, because I've been doing quite a few lace books because I can do a little bit where I'm not sitting down and crafting for long periods of time. I can sit down, do a little bit and walk away, do a little bit, walk away. So for me right now, the lace books have been a way to get back into crafting, that I'm not sitting down and doing a full project in one night, because I don't have that kind of time at the moment. You know, so because of the dark colours, which I'm obviously not used to working with, I did mix it with some tea-dyed laces and doilies. I'm going to start by showing you the back, because so this is a tea-dyed doily to finish off the back, but I started with square doilies. And this is the colour they came out, which is the darker sort of bluey colour that some of them came out. And that was a doily of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 square doilies, and they were all joined together, and I cut them into twos and then made the book that way. I'll show you a bit more of that in a sec. So let me turn it over. So this is the front cover, and I had this quite dark image, and I thought, well, if I'm going to use the dark colours, I wanted to use the dark image. So that's what I've done, and it's just a little girl. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up, because it's very early in the morning and I'm having to use the overhead light. So I used the dark image, and I framed it with this tiny trim and then the tiny blue trim on top here. This is one of the appliques that came out in the die, and then I've layered it up with some tea-dyed appliques on top. Lots of little doily flowers, a mixture of the grey ones and the tea-dyed ones, and just layered those up. I have some seam binding, some which was dyed and some which is the tea-dyed. I've got this applique up the side and lots of bits and pieces of lace that were dyed. I've got a earring up here just to finish that off there, and there is lots of layers at the bottom of little bits and pieces of different laces layered up under here. Just going to show you this, the centre. So I had the 3 sets of 2 doilies, laid them on top of each other to make a book. And again on this one, all I've done is, in between the stitching of the doilies, I've used seam binding to tie them together. So that's all I've done. So there was no sewing, I just tied the seam binding in here on the spine at each point and tied them all together. Plus it gives a nice ruffle of seam binding, and the top one I just tied into a bow, so it's nice and shabby and lovely. I mean, to me, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how this picks up on the camera, because this to me is much more blue than grey. But it'd be interesting to see what the camera does for this. So this one is mostly a pocket page doily book. So that's my front cover. This is a flower page. Like I say, I was trying to do a flower page, so I've just layered up the different size doilies to make a flower, added some lace and bits and pieces in the background, a little bit of dangle lace here, and this is an embroidered lace, and again I think this is a deeper blue on this one. Just lots of bits and pieces layered up, lots of, you know, little bits. So that's the flower page. This is a pocket page. So here's the pocket. And again, just added lots of little bits of appliques, flower appliques, a flower with the doily. One of the, I don't know whether to call it grey blue or grey. This is a doily in the background here, which I think is the darker blue against the grey, and just finishing it off with lots of bits of tea dyed lace here and there just to break it up. And there's some dangles down here on this one. This one is another flower page. I love this flower and I love this applique, so I just really wanted to make that a feature in here with some of the applique that's been dyed in the grey, and some of the laces to frame it. And you can see I've layered up laces going around it. Again, this is one of the laces I dyed. It's quite different for me, this colour, and actually I did really enjoy using it more than I thought I was going to. So this is the cameo page. I had this cameo in my stash and I can't remember who sent it to me. It was either Natasha or Diana, I can't remember, but the colour was perfect on it to match into this. So I layered up a background to frame it with lots of little flowers and bits and pieces around. Another doily, oh, that one's loose. Oh, that's because I haven't attached it. I must remember to do that. And some leaves and just lots of bits of laces and trims and dangles. I must remember to attach that because I've just sat it on top. I only finished this yesterday, or thought I had. I've got some layered lace up here, so let me just hold that there while I turn it over. Okay, this is another pocket page, so there's a pocket in there. This one, you can see it goes from the lighter grey to the blue laces, so I tried to blend them in as much as possible, which was fun to do. Again, I've got another flower here with a bit of lace around it to add a bit further dimension. Just lots of layers of lace and dangles. I love the colour of this, how this lace came out. I really love it. Lots of little flowers with the centres in the blue-grey. This is another image. Again, it was quite a dark one, so I thought I would use that. And I've got lots of little doily flowers and this big flower, and then lots of bits of lace, and I cut some of the little flower trim up and used it on the laces and in the centres. Got some lace, gathered lace around here, and this embroidered lace here, which is great when gathered because it shows on both sides. So I've got another pocket page here, and I used more of the tea dyed in the background of this one, but with lots of the blue-grey lace finishing it off. I love this page. And this one I use more of the blue in the background. Again, it's a pocket page here, and finished off with flowers and a few laces, and little bits of doily trim, and it's lots of little bits. When I make these, I use lots of little bits. You know, I'm not using big, huge pieces, so, you know, I dyed lots of scraps and lots of lace that could be cut up into appliques and bits and pieces. So that's that page. Oh, I like these pages too. So this one mainly has the blue background, and again it's a pocket page, so there's a pocket in here. But so it's more the grey background, but with the blue shades framing it. Had this lace, and then I just built up the flowers with the tiny offcuts of flowers, a couple of little bits of doily around the outside, this dangle trim, and again I've used the tiny blue flowers just to embellish it. So nice good pocket there. Then on this page again, it is a pocket page, but it's more using an applique, so there, you know, the pocket's there, but this is like a wooden applique, and more doily flowers, lots of little flowers again. You see here, I think you can really see the difference in the grey and the blue tones. I was really fascinated with all the different colours that came out of it. This is the cheesecloth up here. I've just gathered it and gone round the page. There is a dangle trim there. Again, I've just cut out a few bits of the blue lace and embellished those. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's kind of a denim-y blue fabric book, but it's different, so, you know. And again, that's the back page, so, and you can just see all the cheesecloth, which you can fluff up a bit. So this one's not too bad, not too thick, because sometimes when I make them they become huge. I must remember to put that flower on. That's that flower on. So I'd be really interested to see what you think of this and the colours that I've used. So I'm not sure if this is available in the US or anywhere else. I don't know if it's a UK only brand or anything, but I'm really pleased I tried it, and I have got a second one, so I might even do some more laces, because I do really like the tone that this has come out. And I did do a little brooch, but it's more tea dye than the blue, so if I just show you that. So this is it. So it's three doilies put together here, and then I've used blue seam binding and tea dyed with a little dangle lace. made this little flower, popped a bead in the centre, some doily flower with a bead, this flower here with a vintage bead which has the perfect blue tones in, and I've sewn a couple of beads into the doily here. I love this because I can wear this with jeans. You know, if I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt, this really looks really cute. And again, just a pin on the back. So I'm thrilled how that turned out. So that's my doily book and brooch. I will be very interested to see what you think of the colours. It is a bit different. I do have another one coming up that is finished, and I will go back and pop that flower on that I've forgotten, but please let me know what you think, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another video. Bye for now.